All right, let's talk about something that's, well, it's really tough. It sits at this difficult intersection of our hearts and our wallets. We're going to build a really clear, strong defense against one of the most psychologically damaging scams out there, the romance scam. Together, we'll walk through how they work and, more importantly, how you can protect yourself. Let's get into it.
Just think about that for a second. It's a nightmare that happens far too often, and it costs people not just their money, but their ability to trust, their emotional well-being. See, this isn't just a financial crime. It's a deep betrayal that takes our very human need for connection and turns it into a weapon. And that's exactly what makes it so cruel.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to build your defense from the ground up. First, we'll break down the psychological attack that's at the core of all of this. Then we'll get into why the stakes are so much higher for older adults. After that, we'll learn the single biggest difference between real love and a scam, which leads right into a practical 3-step defense plan. We'll also touch on recovering your confidence if you've been targeted, and we'll end with one simple rule to keep you safe.
Okay, first things first. We have to understand that a romance scam is not really a financial crime. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. At its core, it's a sophisticated psychological attack. The money, that comes way later. First, the scammer has to get past all your natural instincts, your logic. They have to win your heart before they can even think about touching your wallet.
And their number one weapon for this is a tactic called love bombing. And look, this isn't just flattery, this is a full-scale emotional assault. We're talking constant messages, telling you you're soulmates after just a few days or weeks, a relentless 24/7 focus on you. For anyone, especially someone feeling a bit lonely, this can feel like an absolute dream come true. I mean, who wouldn't want that kind of attention? And that is the trap. It makes it almost impossible to question things. The scammer builds this powerful emotional bubble around you, a fantasy where you are their entire world, and everything outside that bubble just starts to fade away.
Now, let's talk about why these psychological games become so incredibly dangerous for a specific group. You know, anyone can be a target, but scammers deliberately go after adults over 60. And they do it for two very calculated reasons: your financial situation and your emotional availability. The stakes here, they're not just high, they can be absolutely life-altering.
We are talking about hundreds of millions of dollars lost every single year. But here's the part that really matters. It's what kind of money this is. This isn't just some spare cash. This is often a whole lifetime of work. It's irreplaceable retirement savings. Once that's gone, there's no way to earn it back. And that financial finality, that's exactly why older adults are such a prime target. They are aiming for the very savings you rely on for your security.
And a key piece of their strategy is to control the environment. So watch for this. A scammer never wants to stay on the dating site or the social media app where you met. Why not? Because those places have moderators. They have systems in place to spot and shut down fake profiles. So their first big goal is to move you off that public platform and onto a private, encrypted app like WhatsApp or Telegram. This does two very specific things. It cuts you off from any safety net, and it creates a secret, private world where they can manipulate you without anyone else seeing. That move to a private app, that's a huge red flag.
So with all this going on, how in the world do you defend yourself? Well, it all comes down to one simple, incredibly powerful idea you can use for any online relationship. Just remember this: real love is slow, but scams are always fast. Urgency is the fuel that makes their entire operation run. If it feels like it's moving at lightning speed, that is your signal to slow down.
A romance scam almost always follows this exact two-part script. First up is the grooming phase. This is that love bombing we talked about. You'll hear "I love you" way too fast. They'll seem absolutely perfect, like they share every single one of your interests. But there's always a reason they can't meet. They're a doctor working overseas, an engineer on an oil rig, in the military. This distance is on purpose. It makes it impossible to verify anything. Then, once they feel like they have you completely hooked emotionally, they make their move. Phase 2, the extraction. All of a sudden, there's a terrible crisis. A medical emergency, a business deal gone wrong, some legal trouble that keeps them from coming home to you. The key is it's always urgent, and it always needs your money to fix.
And how do they want that money? It's never going to be through a normal, traceable way. The request will always be for one of these three things: gift cards, because they're anonymous and as good as cash; wire transfers, because once that money is sent, it's basically gone forever; and more cryptocurrency, because it's unregulated and untraceable.
If you see a request for any of these, it's not just a red flag, it's a 5-alarm fire.
Let's just pause here for a second. And I mean, really think about this. Would a real, loving partner, even one in a terrible situation, put the entire weight of a disaster on someone they've never even met and then demand payment in a form that's like handing over a bag of cash? The answer every single time is no, absolutely not. That right there, that's the line in the sand.
Okay, so knowing their tactics is one thing, but actually using that knowledge is everything. So let's turn this into a concrete 3-step defense plan that you can use to stay safe while still being open to meeting someone. This is all about feeling empowered, not scared.
All right, here's your playbook. Step 1 is proactive verification. Don't wait around for things to feel weird. Right from the start, you take control. Insist on a live video call. If they make excuses, oh, my camera's broken, the internet is bad, that's a huge problem. Also, take their photos and pop them into a reverse image search on Google. It's free, it's easy, and you'll often find those same photos on some stock photo site or tied to a completely different person. Step 2, build a social firewall. Scammers need you to be isolated. You break their power by telling a trusted friend or family member about this new person. Show them the messages. An outside perspective is so valuable because they're not inside that emotional bubble. And finally, step 3. This is the unbreakable rule. Never met, never send. This has to be your absolute no exceptions policy. There is no story, no emergency, no promise that is worth risking your financial security for someone you only know through a screen. Period.
Okay, it is so important that we talk about what happens if you have been targeted or maybe even lost money to one of these scams. The financial loss is awful, but the emotional damage, the shame, the embarrassment, that feeling of being foolish, that can be so much worse. This part is about getting your confidence back.
Please, let this one sink in. You were targeted because you are a kind, trusting, and empathetic person. Scammers actively look for those qualities. They are professionals running a criminal operation. Being tricked by a professional criminal isn't a personal failure. It's the result of a crime being committed against you. It's so important to reframe it. Your vulnerability came from a strength, your open heart, not from a weakness.
And you are not alone in this, not even close. The shame that these scammers count on is part of their strategy to keep you silent. But there are thousands and thousands of other people who have been through the exact same thing. There are specialized support groups out there that provide a safe place to heal, to share your story without any judgment, and to start rebuilding that trust in yourself. Healing is absolutely possible.
So as we wrap up here, let's just boil everything we've talked about down to one crystal clear rule that you can carry with you. This is the core difference, the thing that separates what's real from what's a trap.
When you strip everything else away, this is what it comes down to. Real love is patient. It takes time. It builds through shared experiences. It's verifiable. You can meet the person, you can meet their friends. A scam is the total opposite. It's urgent. It demands love right now, trust right now. It's anonymous, hiding behind fake photos and excuses. And most importantly, a scam demands untraceable cash to solve a fake crisis. A real relationship builds trust. A scam just demands it.
So, as we bring this all to a close, let's hold on to the most important truth. Just remember what this really is. It's not a simple request for help. It's a calculated psychological attack disguised as the very love and connection you might be looking for. And its primary weapon, the engine that drives the whole thing, is that constant, manufactured sense of urgency.
But against that urgency, you have incredibly powerful tools. Your best defense is that simple, non-negotiable rule: never met, never send. And your proactive shield is the power of a quick reverse image search and just having the confidence to say, hey, let's do a video call. These simple things can stop a scammer cold.
Finally, please don't let the existence of these criminals stop you from seeking connection. Finding companionship is a beautiful, wonderful part of life at any age. It can be and it should be a totally safe journey as long as it's guided by verification, by patience, and by a little bit of healthy caution. Thank you so much for taking the time to go through this with me. Stay safe out there.